patience serves us against insults precisely as clothes do against the cold. For if you multiply your garments as the cold increases, that cold cannot hurt you. In the same way, increase your patience under great offenses, and they cannot hurt your feelings. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. The painter must be solitary. For if you are alone you are completely yourself, but if you are accompanied by a single companion, you are only half yourself. While you are alone you are entirely your own master, and if you have one companion you are but half your own, and the less so in proportion to the indiscretion of his behavior. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. A painter should begin every canvas with a wash of black, because all things in nature are dark except where exposed by the light. Art is never finished, only abandoned. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing, and knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Education is education. We should learn everything, and then choose which path to follow. Education is neither Eastern nor Western, it is human. Every now and then go away, have a little relaxation, for when you come back to your work your judgment will be surer. Go some distance away, because then the work appears smaller and more of it can be taken in at a glance, and a lack of harmony and proportion is more readily seen. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards a ship without a rudder and compass, and never knows where he may cast. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. I have from an early age abjured the use of meat, and the time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. Where the spirit does not work with the hand there is no art. All great acts of genius began with the same consideration: do not be constrained by your present reality. There is no result in nature without a cause. Understand the cause, and you will have no need for the experiment. Just as food is eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so does studying without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. Though nature has given sensibility to pain to such living organisms as have the power of movement, plants consequently do not need to have a sensibility to pain, and so it comes about that if you break them they do not feel anguish in their members as do the animals. Living as they do in communities, whole populations are destroyed so that we can have their honey. Thus will many great nations be destroyed, and multitudes deprived of their food and stores. All knowledge that ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the written word, which is its mechanical part. Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all generations of the world. Men wrongly lament the flight of time, blaming it for being too swift. They do not perceive that its passage is sufficiently long, but a good memory, which nature has given to us, causes things long past to seem present. Life is pretty simple. You do some stuff. Most fails. Some works. You do more of what works. If it works big, others quickly copy it. Then you do something else. The trick is to do something else. Sex is more than an act of pleasure, it's the ability to be able to feel so close to a person, so connected, so comfortable that it's almost breathtaking to the point you feel you can't take it. And at this moment you're a part of them. Experience, the interpreter between creative nature and the human race, teaches the action of nature among mortals, how under the constraint of necessity she cannot act otherwise than as reason, who steers her helm, teaches her to act. The time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look on the murder of men. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Study the science of art. Study the art of science, develop your senses, especially learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Iron rusts from disuse, water loses its purity from stagnation. Even so, does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. It is easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. Knowledge of the past and of the places of the earth is the ornament and food of the mind of man. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws, she has no effect without cause nor invention without necessity. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. The length of a man's outspread arms is equal to his height. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. Men of lofty genius, when they are doing the least work, are most active. Just as courage is the danger of life, so is fear its safeguard. Why does the eye see a thing more clearly in dreams than the imagination when awake? Men of lofty genius, when they are doing the least work, are most active. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws, she has no effect without cause nor invention without necessity. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. There are three classes of people: those who see, those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Truly, man is the king of beasts, for his brutality exceeds them. We live by the death of others. We are burial places. Along with being arguably one of the smartest men to have ever lived, Leonardo da Vinci also possessed seemingly superhuman strength, and would sometimes pick up iron horseshoes and straighten them with his bare hands just because he could. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art.